talk about cutting width on the Pfaff Admire Air 5000 serger. So I actually have the serger set up as a 3-thread narrow overlocked edge. So normal tensions, right needle only, and I'm just serging on a single layer of fabric. Now if you take a look at this edge, you notice that it's not laying flat. You can kind of see that it's kind of tunneled, and I can feel that it's just a little bit of a ridge in there. On the other side, it is the same stitch, but with the cutting width changed, and I'll explain it. Now, this actually doesn't look bad, but sometimes with certain fabrics, you might start to see a little loops over, kind of hanging off the edge. So what are we talking about? This is actually the same width of stitch. What the difference is how much fabric was left to fill in this area. This one, I had the knife all the way as far to the right as it will go. By turning this knob, you can kind of see the knife coming in and out. Here, I'm moving it closer to the needle and then further away. So depending on the fabric thickness. Now, usually when you look at a book, it will just say normal cutting width. Well, what is normal? Well, they don't know what fabric you're working on, so you have to start at kind of a middle setting, or whatever it was last set at. That's normal. But then when you look at something like this, you realize that's not what we need for this particular fabric. Now, this is lightweight fabric, so when I move this all the way over, there's a lot of fabric that's being asked to kind of be squished in a little tiny area. So I would move that in to kind of that happy medium. And here, let's just serge one more. I've turned it a few times, so I don't know if I'm actually there or not. But I'm looking for the stitches to lay right along the edge and it not have a nice, have that ridge. Ooh, I like that. That's nice and flat through my fingers as I touch it. And there's actually no gap between the edge at all. Now for a heavier fabric, think about, let's do this. Let's just think of 2 layers of fleece. It's very fluffy. It almost wants to expand. When you're working with any type of stitch, whether it's a 3-thread or a 4-thread, same thing. Now with a thick fabric, you are going to want to move the knife as close to the needles as possible. Cut off as much fabric, and it's not that much, but remember it has height. So it's going to expand and fill that area in. Can you imagine it expanding and be tall and wide? It's going to be a very, very thick, bulky edge. Probably not what you're looking for. And you could simplify that by moving the knife in. For a middle setting, set the knife between the furthest in or out width and start there. And then decide if it is the right look.